Hello, and welcome to this presentation from the Ridley Democratic Township Committee. This is going to cover the Pennsylvania general election being held on November 8th, 2022. My name is Jen Rieger Murphy. I'm a committee member and vice chair of the Ridley Township Democratic Committee, and I will be hosting this orientation. So for the agenda for today is pretty simple. It'll just be a few minutes. We're going to cover the sample ballots of the election and the candidates that will be on the ballots. So who's on the ballot for November? This is going to be a general election, and we have the following candidates' positions. We have U.S. Senate, the governor's race. We will have a lieutenant governor. We also have someone running for U.S. Congress, and the state Senate and the state House of Representatives. So this picture that you see on this slide is actually what the ballot will look like to voters who are voting in Ridley Township. Now, just one note that in the State House of Representatives race, depending on the precinct that you are representing at the polling place, it will either be to elect Leanne Kruger or David DeLoso. They both share constituencies within Ridley Township. Here's what a sample ballot is going to look like outside of the polling location. You'll notice by looking at this photo that it does not look like the actual ballot. This is really just meant to show the names of the candidates that are running in the Democratic Party, so they will match the names on the ballot, but it does have a different look to it. Keep in mind that every polling location should have a very large version of the actual ballot that can be posted right outside the polling location or right within the polling location. So you can also direct voters to that as well, but we will have plenty of these sample ballots to hand out before voters get to the polling location. One thing to keep in mind is that there's no straight party voting anymore in Pennsylvania. People used to be able to just go in and click a button and say vote straight Democrat, vote straight Republican. That's not an option anymore. The chances of you encountering someone who will not know that are probably pretty slim because we've had several election cycles already with this new system. But just a reminder that you're going to want to encourage people to vote up and down the ballot. Our goal is to elect Democrats at every level of government. So just remind them that they got to fill out a box for each candidate. So at the federal level, I mentioned that we have races at the Senate and U.S. Congress. So for United States Congress, we have the 5th District, and Mary Gay Scanlon is currently our representative. She has served 2 terms, and she is running for her 3rd term, so she's the incumbent running for re-election. For United States Senate, John Fetterman is the candidate. He is our current Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania, and he will hopefully be representing us in the Senate. A fun fact about him is that in his race for mayor of Braddock, he won by 1 vote. So he is living proof of why 1 vote truly does matter. So at the state level, we have running for governor, Josh Shapiro. He is our current Attorney General. And then with him, his running mate is Austin Davis. He's a current state representative, and he is running for lieutenant governor. Also at the state level, we have 2 representatives in our state house in Harrisburg. And again, as I mentioned, depending upon the polling precinct where you are working, you will either see Leanne Kruger's name. She is running as an incumbent for re-election, and she represents the 161st Legislative District. If you are working at a polling place and you see Dave DeLoso's name, he is the representative for that area, and he represents the 162nd Legislative District. Lastly, we have State Senate Tim Carney, and he is our state senator. He's an incumbent running for re-election as well, and he represents the 26th Senatorial District. And regarding Tim, you will see his name on every ballot. He represents everyone in Ridley Township. So that concludes the candidates that are on the ballot for Election Day in November. Other resources we'd encourage you to review are our poll greeter orientation that we do. We have a poll watcher orientation. This is for people that are working inside the polls and just observing things to make sure everything's running smoothly. And lastly, there's poll worker training, and this is for people who are working inside the polls beyond poll watching. So they're doing minority inspection, majority inspector, judge of elections, roles like that. That's not a training that Ridley Township Democrats provides. We do provide the other two, but we can direct you to the right place to get that training if you have signed up to work as in one of those roles inside the polling place. You can email us at ridleydems@gmail.com for more info and to get the links to some of these trainings. So thank you for watching this orientation. Just a reminder that everything you're doing on election day is so instrumental to our success and to electing Democrats up and down the ballot. We really do appreciate your time and participation in the voting process and for greeting and helping our voters get to the polls and get Democrats elected.